What up, people? What's good? Salute.
Yes, sir.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Salute to the tribe. We're hip hop and comics and hip hop. We're a niche channel. And reserved for the best is super dope. I do sell comics. Check me out on Instagram at @6th_element_comics. Yeah, because comic books are the sixth element of hip hop. What's good? Sixth element of hip hop. And y'all already know what that means because comic books are the sixth element of hip hop culture. But this is your host, your co-host, rather, Stu Dog over here on my right or my left, depending on your field of view. And I am Reno Noir. Welcome to our show. It is DC Power Hour because it's what we do every Saturday. We chop it up. We talk DC Comics. We talk DCU. We talk DC Studios, DC movies, DC whatever the fuck, DC figures, anything going on with DC. But we're going to add a little bit of Marvel into it today because we got some comics.
We just have to. Yeah, we just have to. We don't have no excuse other than we have to.
And I tell you, because these are the comics right now we got to look at, and a lot of them are not DC, but the haul must be gone through. We're gonna cover. Yeah, we got a lot to cover though. There's a lot of new comics, a lot of new stuff coming out. We got action figures to unbox. But our main topics that we got to talk about. DC Studios has been announcing a lot of new projects. But what about the original Gods and Monsters slate and the dynamic duo film? That's a new film coming out, new Robin movie, a Batman and Robin movie that they've announced. And how does that fit into James Gunn's joint and Superman's cast? The movie Superman that James Gunn is putting out. The cast is now coming around. So we're going to talk about who's in this movie. Joker 2. We're going to explain that ending, the Heath Ledger connection. Harvey Dent's connection, and explain what's next for Joaquin's Joker. Also, Superman and Lois season 4 review. The death of Superman has just really been the best live action, depiction. Really one of the best depictions of the death of Superman. It really hits hard. Really, really well done. And then last but not least, and not related to DC Comics, but we got to talk about it. Power. The show Power, y'all know, has a new spinoff coming out called Power Origins. It is the 4th spinoff, and this is going to be all about Tommy and Ghost when they were young. So, very cool. Very excited to see that joint. But we're going to start it off, man. We're going to start it off with, our chilling, waiting for people to show up and whatnot, and go through these new joints that we picked up today. What'd you get, Stu? You had an eBay package there? Something came in?
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to collect the Marvel NYX series. And I wanted I have the regular cover, but I wanted this variant right here.
Very dope. Look at that, y'all. Look at
I know.
X-23.
Yeah. And this variant is way better than the cover that I had. But the cover I had, it was good. But this right here, oh yeah, this says it all. So I'm just gonna put this in my get tagged and slabbed box that I keep around here. And look at that artwork. Look at that.
Sick.
That is
man,
sick,
that's
bro.
dope.
That is dope. The Kamala Khan one. I think Kamala Khan she's on the first issue, and that one is kind of hard to find. You're gonna have to go to Scalper Island and get that one. But that's the one everybody. This one here and the Kamala Khan one is the one everybody's after. Those are the two covers, two variants that everybody's after. Not the generic cover. Same comic. It's just the cover is what's gonna make the difference.
Right.
So.
Well,
Reno said it before, and I agree with him. After a while, I know we buy comics for first appearances and things like that, But in the near future, it's going to be about the cover art. That's going to make or break the comic rather than the first
Definitely.
appearance or the first issue. It's definitely going to be the cover art.
Yeah, yeah, that's definitely going to be a factor for sure, for sure. And I have a nice new selection of joints to show you guys, and I'm really excited about some of these. And we do have some DC in here, so don't worry. But let's start it off with the. Let's start it off with. Bop, 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 bop. All right, let's get these out of the way. So this is Blood Hunt. It's almost up. Blood Hunt has been a wicked event across what do you call it? Marvel, all their titles and shit like that. Kevin Davis, man, salute. Welcome to the show. Warner Brothers DC need a win right now. I'm telling y'all, even if James Gunn make a good Superman film, that's not going to change anything at all. I agree, and there's a lot more going on though too. Salute, Norman Rad in the building. Peace. And yes, we got lots of DC action to talk about. But before we get to it, man, let's look through what we picked up at the shop because that's always
Yeah.
fun. Blood Hunters
It's
number,
number one.
yes
Damn,
sir, and then there's like a
that's hard.
Miles vampired out Miles Morales there, and there's Ilsa Bloodstone in the clue and the crew. So the clue. And there, so that is Blood Hunters number one, and this is all part of Blood Hunt. This is Midnight Suns number 3 from the Blood Hunt crossover event with Blade on the cover. Awesome cover right there. And in his sunglasses, you see Ghost Rider. I'm gonna get through these kind of fast. There is a lot to go through. We'll just kind of do them quick. Blood Hunt number 5. That cover is phenomenal.
Yeah, that is hard. Look at that.
Wicked cover. Um, Laura Kinney, there's your X-23. Now this looks like a John Jang style art cover, but it is not John Jang. But it is Laura Kinney, number 1, again part of the Blood Hunt. Blood Hunt is a big vampire crossover. All the vampires have gone nuts and basically blotted out the sun, so they can just run wild upon the earth. And you know, all the Marvel characters are fighting Dracula and his minions. Actually, Dracula is kind of on their side as far from last I was reading. But there's Doom going at it with the magic of the Strange Academy crew. There's number 3, Blood Hunt. Dracula, number 3, Blood Hunt. There's Dracula and Blade's daughter on the cover, swinging at each other. You've got Amazing Spider-Man, number 3. Really dope cover. I really love these covers with the all black backgrounds. They just make the image pop. So cool. And yep,
That's hard. I
you
like
know,
that. Is that Morbius?
yeah, Morbius. And it reminds me of Batman, like the where he's holding Robin. It's kind of an homage to that. And then
Oh, the Death in the Family.
right.
Yeah.
And then here's Blood Hunters number 4. Just trying to keep with the story. There's my man Norin Rad in the background. Silver Surfer, salute.
Can
All
you
right.
change it? No, you can't change him into a vampire, can you?
Nah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I was
Laura
gonna
Kinney,
say.
this is not like DC Vampires. This isn't like DC Vampires where all the heroes are vampires. This is actually the heroes are the fucking heroes. The vampires are the vampires. They're just monsters, and it's going bananas. But there's Psylocke number 1 and Blood Hunters number 3 with Doom on the cover. There's that Midnight Suns number 2 with the crew right there. That is, I believe, that's Johnny Blaze and the new Danny Ketch Ghost Rider, I think there, and Blade. And then last but definitely not least, Amazing Spider-Man 2 there with the lizard. And I want to say what's her name?
That's what's her name? From she was in the Luke Cage series.
Yeah.
She's the one
Misty Knight.
arm. Misty Knight.
Yeah,
Yes.
Misty Knight. Nice.
All right. Yeah.
All right, so Blood Hunt's out of the way. I've been waiting. I've been procrastinating buying those for a long time because I haven't really read that far into it. But moving right along, some other cool shit. Thundercats has a great cover there with.
That is definitely hard.
Ooh, that's number 5. Here's number 6 with the whole crew
Look at the Thunder Tank.
and the Thunder Tank. All right. And we got Transformers number 10. What's her name there? Sitting back against the van, chopping it up. There's number 9 with Optimus doing his Atlas imitation.
Did you get number 12? Did you get
This
Transformers number
motherfucker
12?
here. I don't think so yet. But this motherfucker here, y'all, as I'm really excited about. Here's some DC goodness right here. Batman: The Long Halloween Special Edition. They are coming back. So this is a freebie that you can actually get, pick up from your shop right now. It's a dope tie-in or lead in to the what you call it, Long Halloween redo. Now this is Joker the World. Also, you can grab that for free right now. And this motherfucker, this is number 1 of 10. And man, I'm excited. They're back doing the Long Halloween again. This is Batman: The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween, 1 of 10 by Jeff Loeb. And some very stylized version of Batman on the front. And DC All In number 1. This is a big, thick book. There's everybody in DC. And this leads into the new Absolute DC that's coming up. You're gonna have Absolute Batman, Absolute Superman, Absolute Wonder Woman. And they're all different versions too. But this somehow ties into that.
Very drastically different version of the Absolute Universe. Yeah, the best way for all you fans out there, we can explain the Absolute Universe is just like it's DC's version of the Ultimate Universe. Everything's changed around, everything's different. The names are the same, but their roles are different, and their reasons for doing what they do is different. So, how we had in the Ultimate Universe, we had a African American Nick Fury, based off the other Nick Fury, who was a Caucasian male. We had Ultimate Iron Man, Ultimate Spider Man. He's different. Ultimate Black Panther. It's just different, but it's dope. It's just dope, and I like those spins that they put on them because it gives you a fresh take on a character that we've never seen, and also that we can admire at some point.
Absolutely. All right, y'all. X-Men has the new, you guys know Krakoa was the whole, the Krakoan island where X-Men was just, at the top of their history, right? Best they've ever been, set up, man. Krakoa was beautiful for all my mutant fans, and it died and it's over. But from the ashes, there are new titles coming out for the mutants, and from the ashes, X-Men number 5 cover there with a really crazy ass cover. It does not do it justice on the camera. The colors on this thing are incredible. Looks like a saltwater fish tank. Yeah,
that's a hard cover. I like that.
Yeah, Psylocke and Kid Omega. Yeah, really, really cool. And then from the ashes, X-Force number 3. This is the new X-Force, and it looks like they're fighting. I don't know, dude. Looks like Sandman, but it's not. Big giant dude fighting a giant. Yeah. And then 2 new titles from the ashes is the new Wolverine is out here. This is Wolverine number 1 from the ashes, A New Beginning. I don't know anything about this story yet or the writer. Ahmed. I don't know Ahmed. But yeah, it looks dope. He's standing on like a pile of bones. Could even be adamantium skeletons, the way they look, kind of silvery. So really cool cover there. And from the ashes, number 1 Storm, the new Storm solo title. So that's looking really cool as well. Peace, salute to Slate. And the cover is crazy. The cover is crazy. Again, the camera just does not do the colors justice, but you can kind of get the idea. The colors really pop. Really cool. And then we've got, this is not from the ashes. This is just it's a separate X-Men title with a really cool cover. So it's like a cover in a cover. You see that big thumb down there at the bottom?
And
it's like this sort of black area, this black space around it, and then that's like the comic right there. and it's kind of like off center, and there's more black space on the side here. So it's kind of like there's a comic in a comic. Really cool cover. Juggernaut busting through the wall. Black suit, red X Juggernaut. And also not a From the Ashes. This is so good right now, y'all. This is Chris Claremont. Okay. If you're an X-Men fan, you know this name. Chris Claremont gave us, all the great stories, X-Men, Days of Future Past, is Dark Phoenixes and everything. I mean, all the classic, X-Men shit that the classic shit they've made movies about and everything else. It's Chris Claremont. He's back, y'all. He retired decades ago, right? He's back doing a new Wolverine, and this is called Deep Cut. And there is Sinister Machinations. Oh yeah, and it's been really good. Number 3.
Bro, that is a hard cover right there.
I'm just really excited about the book itself. Chris Claremont has been killing it on that one. And let's just hop over here. Well, let's look at the other one. So there's Deep Cut number 3. This is Deep Cut number 4. This is Chris Claremont, Wolverine Deep Cut. And there is Sinister still menacing everybody. There he is holding Sabretooth by the throat. You got Wolverine in the background, waiting for his moment to pounce. Let's get some focus here, guys. Come on. There we go. And cool cover. So then we got Jonathan Hickman, my favorite author of all time, for comics anyway. Wolverine Revenge is his new Wolverine book, and it is phenomenal so far. Well, everything Hickman does is dope to me. Just has been. But issue number 1 was great. This is issue number 2. Killer book. Highly recommend this one. This one I have not gotten to read number 1 yet. This is number 2 already. Spider-Man Black Suit and Blood. Loving the black, white. Yeah, it's fire.
I gotta get that. Yeah,
black, white, and Bloods are always great. They're black and white comics. Yeah. It's dope. Black, White, and Blood number 1 had a really cool cover as well. But basically, it's just a black and white comic, except anything red is red. Why the sky is red, I'm not sure there, but it's usually like this, So like that pouch is red, or if there's any blood that shows up red, or if anything happens to be red, then but everything else is black and white. Really cool. There's Bullseye. Dope shit. All right. Hell of a stack. We're almost through it though. Get Fury number 6. Get Fury 4. This has been a phenomenal story. I think this is the culmination. I think it's going to be a 6-issue miniseries. The Last Stand of Frank Castle and Nick Fury. Get Fury, it's like I said, it's a miniseries, and it's all about Nick Fury is a prisoner of war in the Vietnam War. He's being held captive by Vietnam soldiers, and they're Vietnamese soldiers, and they've got him in underground tunnels and all that Vietnam shit that they do. And it's Nick Fury, so he knows everything about everything, right? Everything about the American everything. And so the American government, the CIA, they're like, fuck, Fury's been captured. They might somehow get information out of him. We have to stop that at all costs. We can't save him. They couldn't rescue him. They can't rescue him. Rescue means out. The way they've got him, he can't be rescued. So they decide to send in Frank Castle as a sniper to kill Nick Fury. Kill him from a distance so he can't give up any information. Yes, brutal shit. And it's a brutal comic, and I mean, like, it's one of those Max comics with parental advisory, super violence, super gory, just guts and blood everywhere. So really, really fun comic. And I suspected that Frank Castle was not going to kill Fury. I suspect when he's going to end up getting there, and they're going to escape together, kind of thing. And I think that's what's going to happen here, and it's what it kind of looks like. But another one I highly recommend. Skip that one. I'll come back to that in a second because that's pertinent to today's topic. All right, cool shit here. G.I. Joe number 310. Armor Cobra Commander Zartan Baroness. Brutal battle to the death. Great cover. The great Larry Hama. the great Larry Hama. Raw Talk
That is
salute.
hard.
Peace,
Raw
peace.
talk.
Yeah.
Raw talk. Peace.
You came just in time for the GI Joe ones. There's that one, and then Destro number 4. Really cool. Colorful cover that does not come through very well on camera, but it's really cool. Really pops. Destro, yeah, number 4. OG cover. And then we've got this has been a really cool just kind of treat that I dig because I really as a kid really loved Space Ghost. And they came out with a cover. Yes. Fucking Space Ghost when I was little.
Space
Shit.
Ghost actually has been a treat to read. I'm not even gonna
Yeah.
lie. I've been reading it and it's actually been really good.
Yeah. It's fun. Dick Tracy has been great too. I didn't get any new Dick Tracys this time, but that's been really good. And then speaking of variant covers, bro, I did finally snag a variant cover at my shop that never has any variant covers. This is Ultimate Spider-Man number 9. And it's a variant of him sliding off with MJ, swinging through the town. And this is again very cool. Jonathan Hickman born Ultimate Universe Spider-Man, written by Jonathan Hickman, and he is like, I think he's in his late 30s, early 40s, or something like that when he first gets bit by the spider in this universe. There's a whole story behind it. There's a whole reasoning behind it. I won't get into, but really cool concept. Seeing an adult Peter, and last but not least, talking about DCU, this is the very first DCU movie coming out, Creature Commandos, and this is their number 1 Creature Commandos number 1 comic. So you can bet whatever's going on in the show is going on here. And according to James Gunn, the whole concept of the DCU is that the comics, the video games, the cartoons, the movies, the TV shows are all connected. The same actor will play the same character in video games, comics, well, not comics, video games, TV shows, movies, animation, you name it. So all tied in, very cool. And that's it for the comics. And then we've got our DC Connect for the month, New Gods, new shit that's coming out. DC.
I love that. I love anything with new gods in it. Love it.
Oh yeah.
Love the new gods.
Yeah, absolutely. New Gods are dope. Oh, cool. There's Two-Face. That's my dude right there. But yeah, a lot of shit coming out.
Needs to bring out. You know what? Tom McFarlane needs to bring out. All right, we got Darkseid. He gave us Calabec, but he never gave us Orion. He needs to bring us out, get us an Orion character. That would be hard.
Hold on, Orion. I'll be right back.
Or Two-Face number 1. I cannot fucking wait. Yeah, Two-Face is probably my favorite. Yeah, one of my favorite Batman villains, just because he's just the quintessential gangster. I really dig it. That's coming out. December 4th. Batman Dark Patterns number 1. Batman Brave and the Bold number 20. All this comes out in December. World's Finest, Black Canary, all dope shit. But Green Lantern, Shazam, Milestone, DC Horror presents. Oh, that's pretty wicked. Creature Commandos number 3, DC Horror. Horror. That's coming out. Flash. Let's see some facsimiles, old joints, Batman. Beware the Green Lantern's Flame, Dark Knights of Steel, DC vs. Vampires, World War V. Number 5. Oh, Plastic Man, no more.
Plastic Man, no more. I like Plastic Man.
I know you do. Yep. Batman smells. Robin laid an egg. Get the fuck out. Number 1. Batman smells. Robin laid an egg. Number 1. Christmas time coming out. Then we got Scooby-Doo. Batman and Scooby-Doo. Absolute Power Origins. Harley Quinn. All types of goodness. previews, BBUs. Marvel has a gang of shit. Ooh, look at that bad boy.
Yep. That's all right. Sabretooth for that.
Oh, yeah. What is that? Sabretooth, The Dead Don't Talk, #1 of 5. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, check that out. See what that's all about.
That's coming out. That's coming out. Uh-oh, the whole crew is here. Sada, welcome.
Sada.
Storm.
Yeah.
Going on.
Ooh. Super excited for Sentinels. I did not get #2 or 3 yet, but that looks dope.
I like that.
Sentinels. Yeah, Magneto. Man, too much to go through. So much stuff. And I mean, we didn't even talk about the real big book with every fucking thing from all the different comic companies. Previews, baby. That's how you know what's going on. You want to know what comics are coming out, what's great, like how do you know all this stuff? It's here, man. They promote
you
it
gotta get those
months before. Yeah, grab these. They come out months early. And it's everything that's coming, man. It's previews. All right, y'all. I don't know what's in here. Let's find out. Where's me blade? Let's find out what came from the fan base today. All right. Tell me it is. Oh, okay. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all.
That's gotta be from Hasbro.
I'm not mad at all.
Yeah, that Moon Knight. I got
Ooh, look at that.
Beautiful.
Look at that.
Hell yeah. I was
the suit I wanted for Moon Knight.
I know, dog. I know. And I was low key hoping it was this guy, Weapon of Vengeance. That is coming, but he'll be here in a couple days. Wow, this is a nice sculpt.
Yeah, that looks really good.
I really love this sculpt. I've seen a lot of Marvel Legends Moon Knights, and none of them I think are this cool. Okay. Yeah, he's peak. And then he's got the head of the Build-A-Figure, which is Blackheart. Yeah, Blackheart. But
people
again,
love Blackheart too. I don't know why.
Yeah. I don't know much about him. All I know he's from the video game. I remember him from a video game. This head is making me want to put him together though. Like I've never built a whole Build-A-Figure because they always put 2 or 3 characters you just don't want. And I don't know why they do this. They put 3 characters, 2 or 3 that nobody fucking wants. There's at least one nobody wants. Then they'll put another one in there, like another one that not that many people want. You kind of will settle for it. And it's for real. Like Lilith, this one here, this bullshit figure, nobody wants. This Bloodstorm, Blade's daughter, kind of cool, maybe, but I don't really want it. And then this Damian Hailstrom. It's just a dude with his shirt off and like a star on his chest. It's like but then you got Brother Voodoo, Weapon of Vengeance, Dracula, and Moon Knight, and it's great. But putting that whole crew together, and they make it so bad. The one that you really don't want, that's the one with the whole torso of the Build-A-Figure.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, real clever. We didn't catch that, Hasbro. Yeah, you slipped that by us. But no, they have really stepped their game up with the Marvel Legends packaging. And quality of not only the packaging but the figures. I've been really impressed with what they've been doing lately. Like I said, I've told this a bunch of times. The cardboard is really thick and nice. It's really made well. It's got a nice square shape. Before their other ones had this weird concave octagon caved in weird shape that can't stack. It's a horrible idea. Let's bust him out. Because I always open them up, y'all. Oh, you're gonna? Yes, I always open them up. Look at the new figure with the finger tab.
Nice.
I know you guys are like,
yeah,
what?
We just talking about that. Yeah,
no, yeah,
it makes a difference.
You used to have to bend. You used to have
box
to destroy the flap, to get it open. Fuck that, and then they even got one right there.
They got the little pull joint. Yeah,
right out.
Yeah.
Slalulu. Yeah.
So now you keep your boxes for resale.
Yes, sir. That's exactly right. But man, let me get him out. All right, there he is. Okay. Similar cape. I think that we've no. That's a pretty unique cape. Yeah, it's his own cape. The hood is really cool. I like how they did the hood on this one. Let me see if I can get it focused in. Yeah. There he is.
That is, yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I really do. Really like that. Really like that. He comes with some accessories. He's got his staff, which I really hate these staffs. They give him the Gambit too, and they suck. They're so thin that they just slide.
Yeah, I could see
right
it
out.
bending already. Just trying to put
Yeah.
it in his hand.
Yep. They bend real bad, and they're really flimsy, and they're so skinny that look, they slip right through his hand. He can't even. I'm literally putting that in his hand, and watch, slides right through.
You're great, guys.
Little tighter. That one's a little tighter, but there he is with his staff, and he comes with also this cool like ankh right there.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
that is.
That. It's just a little piece.
Nice.
Yeah, maybe the ankh goes in that other hand.
Yeah, the ankh will fit his hand for sure. And he's got his little moon, his little crescents that he can throw. There's a big one and then 3 little ones, but there's nowhere to like put them on his body. It would be cool if they made some sort of like, I don't know, chest cavity that you could stick them in or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, but other than that, great design. And this is the Black Heart. Oh, that's fucking dope.
Look at that.
The dreads are all independent. Like they're pretty independent.
You might have to go on eBay and just buy the parts and build that one. Something you might have to do something.
Dope.
Well, you know what's bullshit?
It do look kind of dope.
You know what's bullshit? They sell the parts in eBay, but they cost as much as the figure would cost.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't. Listen, I don't know why. I don't know why eBayers do that, man. The figure's $24. They don't charge you no more for the figure than they would if it didn't come with the other figure. So why are you selling it for the same price as the figure? I mean, $5, $10. Come on, that's reasonable. You know what I mean? You basically, but you selling it for the same price. Come on, man, that doesn't make any sense.
He is cool.
Now, my local comic book shop, people bring those in and they sell them to them, and you can go in there and actually get the pieces that you need. Yeah, build it. So I'll look out for you, man. I'll see if they got if Wade has them, I'll get them. I'll send them to you. I'll see what he got. Cause I got I built the figure. The only figure I've ever built. Hang on, I get it for you. And I had the same problem, and then I went and got some of the parts from Wade's, and I wound up building this one right here.
Your camera's off.
Hang on. I'm getting the figure. Hang on. It's pretty big too.
Blackheart is a Marvel character who first appeared in Daredevil number 270. The character is usually depicted as an adversary to the superhero Ghost Rider. Thank you, Slate.
I only know him as Mephisto's kid. That's all I know him by.
All right, this is the only figure I've ever built, and I wanted 2 of the figures that came in this collection. So once I got them, and I was doing like you did. I was looking at the figure, and I was like, damn. I was looking at the parts. I was like, man, wait a minute, this is kind of dope. So I just kept going to Wade's, and I kept going, and I kept going. He actually had one in there that was built, but they wanted like $60 for it. I was like, nah, we're not gonna do that.
Oh, it was cheaper to buy the parts?
Yeah, it was cheaper for me to buy. I already had 2. So I bought the legs, and I bought the arms. I had the head and the torso.
Right.
Because those are the 2 figures I wanted. Yeah, those are the only 2 figures I wanted. And then I was like, well, the other ones I really don't want. I really don't want Blackest Night Batman, and I didn't want Blackest Night. I think it was Superman or something. And they came with the legs. So I went there and I just kept. It took me about a month, and then I got all the pieces, and so now I have an Atrocitus. So
Who's this
Atrocitus.
little doesn't he have a cat or whatever?
You need his
Yeah,
cat.
I don't. It does. You know what, Rad? They don't have a cat. If I can get, I might try to go on eBay and see if somebody made one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And see if I can get the cat. But the cat is dope. I would love to have because I would sit them. The only other thing is the giant fit. They don't come with a stand, so I had to get one of the other DC stands. I had an extra one, and then I used that.
Lucky you, because
I used that. Yeah, to stand him up because it's not standing up by itself, but it is dope, and he is taller than the regular figures. So the regular ones he's way taller, but Atrocitus is taller than I think he's like 7 foot tall or something like that. He is taller than the DC Universe. He's taller than the regular characters. But here he is in all his glory, Atrocitus. You might have to start looking, man. You might have to build that Black Heart, man.
Yeah, I think I might because he's pretty dope.
Yeah.
Before we hop into the DC shit, though, man. Oh, go ahead, bro. Sorry.
Yeah, it's like you said. Who wants to buy? It might be 2 characters. You'd be like, man, I really don't want them, but I do want this one. So, yeah, I only wanted the 2. I wanted Firestorm, and I forget the other one that this came with. But he is dope.
Yeah. Before we hop into the DC goodness, man, I'm a huge fan of My Hero Academia. My son put me onto it in like 2015 or something like that, and I was hooked, man. It's anime, but it's like the X-Men. It's basically X-Men but anime.
It's really good.
It's so good.
It is really good. It is.
It just ended. The anime just ended. The manga just ended. And they've got a new joint coming out. What it's called My Hero Academia You're Next. But yeah, mine it's scheduled to premiere on October 11th. So with the anime's 7th season airing and the manga having just completed its run, there's never been a better time for a refresher on Japan's most famous superhero franchise. My Hero Academia premise is simple, likable characters, and a fun world, easy for even a casual fan to appreciate. Never been a better time to be a My Hero Academia fan. Let me see if we can bust this a little bit. We can talk about it. Just alter the playback speed a little bit.
The trailer looks very lovely.
Yes.
I actually wanted to see it in theaters, but I don't know. It depends. The theaters that they're showing it at, I don't want to go to. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to go. Yeah, I wanted to go to theater and see this too.
Right. Kohei Horikoshi is the guy who created it. The author, general supervisor, and original character designer is doing the Shonen Jump, weekly Shonen Jump magazine. But yeah, dog, it looks great. It looks really cool. There's like an evil All Might. So All Might is like their kind of Superman. There's All Might right there. That's All Might.
Yeah, there's All Might. Yeah.
And so there's like an evil clone of All Might in this one. A new threat. There he is, evil All Might, and he's kind of like an asshole. And yep, October 11th, and he's gonna be duking it out with Deku.
Yeah, and everybody wants to be a Homelander now. Everybody wants to be like Homelander. So.
Right.
They have to run that one good time.
All right. Yeah, let's do that one time.
Everybody's got to be like Homelander now. Everybody's got to be like Homelander. So. Or we like Homelander. But the TV show is good, but it does it. The comic brings it out. The comic really brings it out. The TV show is watchable, and if you've never seen it, you never read the comics, then you really kind of understand. It does give you a good understanding of how much of a. It does.
It's manga.
No, it's not. Yeah, it gives you a good depiction of how bad Homelander is, but they don't really go into it. Homelander is a scuzzbag, bro. Like serious.
Oh, you're talking about the Boys comics?
Yeah, I'm talking about the Boys. Yeah.
Oh,
now My Hero Academia is just dope. My Hero Academia is just dope. It's probably the best thing I've seen, and I've watched it religiously since Dragon Ball Z. Like it's probably the one anime that's really, really kept me hardcore, like watching it. So, since I started watching
Ninja Scrolls.
Oh, Ninja Scrolls. Ninja Scrolls is a classic. Wait a minute. That's a movie, right? That's like a movie. Yeah, we talking about a series. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Ninja Scroll, that's a series. I'm still trying to get that joint on Blu-ray. I need Ninja Scroll on Blu-ray, man, or 4K. Yeah. Ninja Scrolls blew me away when I first seen that. I was literally blown away. Yeah. Anybody out there, I don't care how old you are. I don't care if you're millennial, late millennial, Gen Zer, late Gen Zer, whatever you are. You cannot front on Ninja Scroll. I don't care. You watch anime.
I got
some
Ninja Scroll comics. Yeah, Ninja Scroll. They got some comics out. They do have a show. Ninja Scroll has a series. I don't know if you knew that. They do have a series. That's
not as good as the movie.
Not as good as the movie. No,
it's not as good. It's nowhere near as good as the movie. Nah, that movie was that movie. I don't even know why they came out with a series.
That movie changed my life. That movie changed the game. That movie put me. That made me an anime fan. To keep it a buck, Ninja Scroll is what made me a fan of anime straight up. In the mid 90s, early 90s. Yeah.
You know what made me a fan, Reno? You know what made me a fan? And some of y'all might disagree, but Akira. When I first seen Akira, Akira. I was blown away by Akira.
Akira is amazing.
I was blown. I was blown. After I saw Akira, I literally started watching anime on a regular after that. And then I got into Robotech. I got into Ninja Scroll. All of that.
I was just holding the box set of Akira today when I was at the shop. They have a box set of the whole manga, the whole series is like that big. It's like $250. It's just crazy. But yeah, it says My Hero Academia takes place in a world where the majority of the people are born with superpowers known as quirks. So this is just like mutants being born with mutations. These quirks vary, leading to those with strong quirks taking the role of heroes, so they can protect people from those who would use their special abilities for evil, much like the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. The series follows a teenager named Izuku Midoriya. They are teens in school, just like the X-Men originally were, often referred to by his nickname Deku, which, by the way, is not a nice word in Japanese, who is born without a quirk, but is given the ultra-powerful one-for-all quirk by the world's #1 hero, All Might. From there, Deku joins UA High and becomes a member of Class 1A, so he can be trained to become a true hero. Now, You're Next, the movie that we're talking about here, it takes place in the aftermath of a big battle between the world's heroes and the world's villains. So, which is the end of the whole, series that we're watching right now. My Hero Academia just ended. I haven't watched the last episode yet because I'm waiting for him to dub it. But the manga did end, and I've sworn them to silence, but I've heard that some people are not really happy with how it ended, but we'll get into that when I get to see the dub. But in the wake of the arc, a variety of powerful quirk users were let out of prison, setting up Your Next main antagonist, a villain named Dark Might, who looks exactly like the world symbol of peace, All Might. Dark Might threatens to give Class 1A their darkest battle yet, as his resemblance to Deku's mentor poses a lot of questions for both the new villain and the hero that he's mimicking. What's going on, All Might? Why do you have this clone? You didn't tell us. Is this a twin? What's going on? Do you need to be a My Hero Academia mega fan to understand You're Next? Probably not. Yeah, probably not. Let's see some of the images that we kind of just saw on the trailer.
I must have grabbed a piece of his hair like off the battlefield. And
that's his
clone time.
Yeah, Dark Might. My Hero Academia might be a franchise, but that shouldn't scare off a fans potentially interested in Your Next. In addition to the basic knowledge of the franchise, the most important things worth knowing are the various characters and the key players in the series. In addition to Deku, Class 1A also features characters such as reformed bully Bakugo, the child prodigy with fire and ice powers Todoroki, and the lively, honest Ochaku Uraraka, who befriends Deku from the start. She's the love interest. Beyond them, the Class 1A's other young heroes of All Might himself, who is the world's former #1 hero. Unfortunately, the All Might's powers lost his powers in a pivotal fight against the big series villain, All for One. And this has led to All Might's current appearance, which is far more thin and sickly looking than he was in his prime. Yeah, there's two main powers. There's All for One, which is the villain's power, and he uses all these other people's quirks for himself. It's like all the powers for him. And then All Might has One for All, because he's got the power that he uses for all to help all people. So it's All for One and One for All are the two. So it's a little clever play on words. And given that Your Next takes place after the Paranormal Liberation War. The series version of Japan is in ruins, and the heroes are still trying to rebuild. So it's a post-apocalyptic joint. Your Next take place directly after My Hero Academia season 6. So fans haven't caught up with season 7. Yeah, that's interesting to know. I did not realize that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. I thought it would be
good to
right
know.
after the events of season 7.
Yeah, me too. I thought until they just said that it came after season 7. So keep that in mind. This is between 6 and 7. Fans familiar with the series? Blah 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 blah. Blah. I don't know. I lost my place. One of the most common questions parents ask before taking. We don't care about that. My Hero Academia looks to be an incredible movie. It does. For any potential fan. Blah, 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 blah. Oh well, it's gonna look good. I think it's gonna be good. I don't want to waste too much time on this. It is DC Power Hour. We do have some DC goodness to talk about. But
to start off the DC, I did want to answer Slate's question of if I saw the Joker. No, I didn't, and I won't be.
You're not gonna look. You're not gonna see it.
Yeah, no, I didn't even see the first one really, but like the reviews I've seen for the second have just been abysmal across the board. So like I'm cool, but like I just heard not great things.
Right. Yeah.
So I said, I'm cool. I'm good. I'll catch it on the stream.
I'll catch it on the stream.
Yeah. See, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I mean, and I've heard the same thing. I haven't seen it yet either. I saw the first one. I thought the first one was a really good film.
It was. Really like the first one.
No, the first one wasn't really. It was very well acted, very well played out, very well paced. It was a shocker because we didn't think it was going to be as good as it was. And once people started watching, they're like, "Yo, this is good." It literally steamrolled through the theaters after that and the box office. So this one, whatever the director is, and you guys got to remember when we come out with these movies, these directors, they're going in their direction or their vision for the film, and sometimes it might not resonate with everybody. We might not all like his vision or what he, wants to do with it. I don't think it should have been made into a partial musical. You should have stayed with the same formula you had in the first one, and just moved on with the story. That would have been a better deal.
From my understanding, he didn't want to do a second movie. He didn't want to do a sequel.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
The studio forced him, and you know how it goes. You either do this, or you don't get any for any other movie.
Yeah, so, he had a 2-movie contract or something like that.
Yeah. So he said this was a FU to those who wanted him to do another movie and studios.
That's crazy.
And through the whole movie, you see the FUs to the studio, like, why are we doing this? Why? Why do I have to explain? Why? The Joker is the person complaining, why am I here? Why are we doing this? I don't want to do this no more.
Yeah. That's funny.
That's funny. Can't catch a break. Oh my God.
So yeah, it takes place like right after the events of the first movie with Arthur Fleck on trial for his murders that he committed in the first movie, and he's got his lawyer played by Catherine Keener, arguing that Arthur and Joker are two different people, and she claims that after the years of childhood abuse, Arthur developed this alter ego that's separate from his own mind, a completely separate person. And we've heard this defense before. Like, there's been cases in real life where they've actually they've used this defense, and it's actually worked, where the murder trial, they were like, this is a separate personality, it's a different person, you can't try this guy. But it's like, well, it's still his body. I mean, we got to try that guy. That's how I feel. But anyway, she claims that after the childhood abuse, he develops this persona, and the prosecution is led by this assistant attorney, Harvey Dent, played by industry star Harry Lottie, who's later known as the disfigured Two-Face villain, Two-Face in Batman comics. And so the jury sides with Dent and convicts Arthur of murder. But before the trial continues, a bomb explodes outside of the courtroom and sends the city into chaos. And Arthur briefly escapes with the help of two Joker devotees, right? Because you remember he spawned this whole underground Joker, copycat crew. Yeah, and movement, right? But he's soon captured by police, and they bring him back to Arkham Asylum. Then it appears that Harvey's face gets injured in the courtroom explosion, which potentially, sets him up to become Two-Face in the future. We never get to see it. It's like, maybe if there was a trilogy coming, but the movie then ends on a bloody note, and Arthur is ambushed the next day by a laughing, clearly insane Arkham patient, and the inmate, played by Connor Story, tells Arthur a joke and then repeatedly stabs him in the stomach. Arthur falls over bleeding profusely and appears to die, and then behind him, the unnamed psycho laughs uncontrollably and carves a Glasgow smile into his face with a knife. And then a lot of DC fans, have theorized that this killer could be an homage to Heath Ledger's Joker with the scarring of his face in The Dark Knight. I don't know. It's a little bit loose, but both of them do sport the same, scars and the mouth gashes and all of that. But Todd Phillips' Joker and Christopher Nolan's Batman trilogy obviously are unrelated, take place in different time periods, different universes. It's completely unlikely that the story's characters are all related to Heath Ledger's. If it's an homage, maybe, I don't know. But The Dark Knight Ledger's backstory is largely unknown. So he offers, differing accounts of how he got the scars, we've heard. So it was never really solidified. So early in the movie, he says that his father drunkenly cut him as a child. But later he says that the scars were self-inflicted after his wife was given a Glasgow smile over a gambling debt. And then The Dark Knight also took place in the modern 2000s era, while the Joker is like in the 80s.
The other one he said where he put the razor in his mouth and did that. And,
let me tell you about these scars.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But you do know one thing. Once he started talking about the scars, you pretty much were gonna die. So that was his line. That was his break the ice moment to kill you. So
yeah.
Soften the blow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it is what it is. I mean, that movie, like you said, maybe was just a fuck you to the studio. It wasn't even, he didn't even try kind of thing. I don't know. It's definitely not getting the kind of reviews the first one got, and I'm definitely not going to the theater to see it. But I'll definitely bootleg it at some point.
Same
But
here. And like you said, and same thing. Like the first movie, we didn't know it was going to be that good. The second movie is what the first movie should have been. The first movie was so good, and it was just like I said, it was just so well acted, so well played. It hooked us. We were interested. Hollywood has to stop doing that. They have to stop saying, "Well, let's make a sequel." If the sequel can't be as good as the original, don't do it. It's fine. Like we got movies that there's only one movie of it, like The Warriors. You can't redo The Warriors. Why? Because it was so good. You can't do it. What else can you do with it? Where could you go? You couldn't even do a modern day version of The Warriors because it wouldn't even. It just. What you gonna do?
What you should do with The Warriors, I'll tell you what you should do with The Warriors, and that's what our homeboy, who is making the comic End of Zed, is doing with The Warriors, and it's being inspired by it. Inspired.
You could do something. You could be inspired by it, but you can never make another Warriors.
Don't remake it. Don't reboot it. Just be inspired by it.
I think they'll remake it at some point because just the name recognition.
It's a cult. It's a cult classic. It's a cult classic.
And if they're smart when they remake it, they'll have the surviving cast. They'll have them in it at some capacity. You know what I mean?
If they're smart.
Standard reboot tease.
He said if they're smart.
Real well.
Like if they're smart, if Hollywood's not that smart. You can't remake Reservoir Dogs. Why? Because it's so good. Can't remake Goodfellas.
You have to remake it in a. The reason you can't make Reservoir Dogs is because it was made in a fucking warehouse with a budget, no budget, all writing, all dialogue, and unless it's Tarantino, you're not going to get that kind of witty dialogue. And the whole thing that was about Reservoir Dogs was the witty dialogue. There's no. They don't go anywhere. You swear you saw the robbery. You don't see the robbery. You just see them in the warehouse.
You just see them
after the robbery.
Or the diner when he didn't want to.
Or the diner. Yeah.
What the fuck you mean you don't tip?
Right. That was a great scene. That's the diner. There's the car, the little bit of the car where he's in the back and he's shot in the car, and then there's in the warehouse, which cost them nothing, right? It cost him nothing to make that movie. And if you remake it with a low budget on purpose, then it's not going to be right because you didn't have to use I guess what I'm saying is like he had to make that movie with a low budget. Like he made it. He made it, and he had to have a low budget because he didn't have no money. He was nobody at the time. And that's what makes it great. And if you try to remake it, you got money now.
Makes it great. You know,
you got money
just like
now.
Just like you can't remake Raw Deal with Arnold Schwarzenegger. You can't remake. You can't remake.
He kind of like
you can't be. Just like and just remember every other Predator movie that came out after the first one.
Red Dawn.
Everything was good because the first one was just so good. You just certain movies you can't make a sequel to or you can't remake.
I like the Danny Glover version too.
Danny Glover one was cool. It was cool. It wasn't like the first one, but it was cool.
No,
it was cool. Just can't. It's just certain movies you just. Joker should have just had the one movie. We should have praised it. I mean, 10 years from now, you could have bought out a super Blu-ray version, maybe extended scenes or whatever the case may be. You know, we'd be cool with that. You just can't. It's just certain. With Silence of the Lambs, can't remake it. Can't do another one. Can't do it. And it never. You do it, you're just gonna ruin everybody's life in the world. Can't do it.
Got great actors, man. That's
can't do it.
Pudding, man. You have. Not only celebrated directors and in a certain time frame when all this stuff came out, we were of certain ages at that time and very impressionable, and it was also a part of hip hop too, because remember, all the references that rappers was talking about came from these movies, so it was ingrained at some point, and every now and again you'll hear a rapper talking about something from Scarface, something from The Godfather, something from Colors, and stuff like that. These great movies, and they try to remake, and it falls short. Look at the Superfly movie.
Oh my god,
that was the worst thing since.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
That's I don't even want to talk about that. Don't even ever mention that shit.
Like, don't bring that up. Don't bring that up.
Me and my wife was watching it one time, and she's like, "Oh, this is cool." I was like, "You gotta watch the real one. The real one is just so."
Fuck you think you is Ron O'Neal?
Yeah, he's like, TV and
tap, man.
Yeah, and the crazy part is, as long ago as that movie was made, look how good it is. Like it's still that good. You could go that movie's 30, 40 years old. And look how good it still is to this day. And Reno got the ultimate director's cut. I don't even have that. And I would love to have the ultimate director's cut.
Right there.
You like, Eddie, get out, Eddie.
It has the beginning, the battleground, the way home, the phenomenon. It's got a dope special. Special feature.
Yeah. Swan.
Leon.
No, that was one of my favorite characters.
Can you dig it?
Yeah,
even the video game for the Warriors was the bomb. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, even the video game for the Warriors was the bomb.
That whole movie, my man had to get he was just stoic through the whole movie. Dude that plays Swan, I forget his name, but he was stoic through the whole movie. It was like he wasn't.
You talking about
the lead character,
that
Swan,
guy?
Yeah. No, not him.
The white dude. This dude
under your finger. That guy got arrested at the park. Remember, Swan was the leader after old boy got beat up by the Riffs.
Okay,
which one? Who? Oh,
remember?
I know. James Remar was in it because that's the first movie I've ever seen James Remar or David Patrick Kelly, dude, because their career shot through the roof after that. We've seen them in plenty of movies after that.
Yeah, definitely.
But the dude that played Swan, damn, what is his name?
I keep forgetting his name.
But I know what you're talking about.
Google,
and then the dude Cleon. Cleon was the one that got
beat up by the Riffs.
That got get by the Riffs. Michael Beck. Michael Beck is his name. Michael Beck is his name.
Michael Beck.
And
Yeah.
Deborah Van
Michael
Deborah Dan Valkenborough. She also her career shot through the roof too after that movie. She played in a lot of stuff after that too.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite movies. They got a bop through the city, man. Yo,
Yeah.
ain't nothing like
James
it.
Did you
Remar
know
played
that?
Ajax.
And
James
you
Remar
know
was in that shit.
that movie
Yeah,
was
James
so
Remar. Yeah, I said
influential.
that. I said James Remar, David Patrick Kelly,
Yeah,
and the girl Deborah Van
Yeah,
Valen. Their career shot through the roof after that movie.
they go
you
riff
know,
right there.
that
Yeah,
movie
they go
was
riff.
so influential. They had to use it in John Wick. They
Yeah,
had to use
They
that
used,
movie in John Wick.
did they?
Yes, they did. If you look at the last John Wick
that's
movie, all right. And it was like, these are for you. I think she said bopper. Same thing with the lips, the lady from
Oh
Oh
yeah, the
right.
lady. Yeah, she did. Yeah,
and they
yeah.
played the
Her
nowhere to run, nowhere to
Lynn
hide,
Thigpen.
everything.
Yep.
That was so
Yep.
dope.
Lynn
I
Thigpen.
went crazy once they did that. I was like, oh no, the Warriors.
Lynn Thigpen. She was all sexy. She was all sexy on there talking. For all
Yeah.
you boppers out
All they
there.
showed was her lips.
Not conversation.
Yeah, that was sexy back in the 70s.
Yeah.
Just to show a lady lips talking on a microphone. That was sexy back then.
Word. Well, y'all, it's DC Power Hour, man. And we got, I know some people been waiting on this information that we gotta bestow upon you. Because DC Comics, right? Or DC Studios rather. And Side, I know you've been following this too. DCU had revealed this chapter 1 Gods and Monsters, the DCU slate that they gave us, and they laid it all out, and this is what it's going to be. These are going to be the shows and the movies, blah 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 blah. Now, and the the downside was that it told people that 2023's DCEU movies didn't matter, and for the most part they ended up flopping, partially because everyone knew they didn't matter anymore. The reviews also were not, overly kind, and the DC brand is now very nearly damaged beyond repair. And even Joker underperformed, as we've talked about, and that was supposed to be like a saving thing. It's like the Batman and Penguin are like the only things that's going for right now. And as a result, it's up to James Gunn now, of course, to turn things around. I think he's capable. I know what he's done in the past. Everything he's done, I've been a fan of. If he just botches it, I will be shocked. But the DCU slate has been expanding, right? They told us this is what it's going to be. Without none of their movies playing in the theaters yet, without any of these shows coming out yet, anything's happened yet. And now, to look back on Gods and Monsters and how it's evolved and changed, and the new projects that they've added that I'm going to talk about here. And, there's good and bad elements, and a lot of unanswered questions, but here's like a little breakdown of the new shit. There's a Bane and Deathstroke movie coming out. There's a new Robin movie called Dynamic Duo. This says what fans want, or what James Gunn wants. You will find no James Gunn hate here. The filmmaker is an immense talent behind the camera with the Guardians of the Galaxy and the Peacemaker, among the best comic book adaptations we've ever seen on screen. That is a fact. However, with Gunn now calling the shots at DC Studios, it feels like much of what we're seeing from the studio is what he wants, and not necessarily the stories fans have spent years waiting for. Peacemaker Season 2 and Waller, featuring characters heavily featured in Gunn's DCEU work, have been made a bigger priority than countless other TV movies and shows. Creature Commandos is being made in the same vein as Suicide Squad, and it appears that Gunn will take another crack at the concept with a Secret Six movie featuring Bane and Deathstroke. That's what I was talking about. And that Secret Six movie could also have my man Catman in there, so I'm not mad at it, but I get what he's saying here. He's saying that this is looking a little bit like a James Gunn world, which honestly, that's why they fucking hired him, because the shit that he's created, his universes have been successful, and they liked it, and they thought, we're fucked. Let's one last ditch effort to try and save this thing, and let's get James Gunn and let him do his thing and just stand back and let him fucking do his thing. So this is what he's doing. It says now there's this dynamic duo, an animated project featuring a unique animation style that's arguably more suited to the filmmaker's taste than what DC fans want to see from Dick Grayson and Jason Todd in theaters. In contrast, it feels like Marvel Studios is focused more on fans instead of telling stories based on a very specific era of comics. I disagree wholeheartedly here. It does not feel like Marvel Studios is focused on anything fans want. At least comic, at least comic fans anyway. Other type of fans, yeah, they're all over them. But comic fans, no, they do not give a fuck. Number 4, too much too soon. This is the Wonder Woman joint. So we did have the Supergirl. And yeah, he said at the end of January last year, DC Studios announced a slate of 10 movies and 10 shows, for Chapter 1, Gods and Monsters. And this is what I'm talking about. Like Gods and Monsters, like we knew this is the whole slate. This is everything that was supposed to be there. Peacemaker, The Authority. Well, let me see what they're saying. We've pretty much heard nothing about the title since and only Creature Commandos and Superman are in post-production, which, of course, I don't know what this guy's talking about really, because it's kind of like, yeah, they are just, okay, so he's talking about it. To be fair, last year's strikes played a role in, it did. Well, that's why shit is taking off now and not then. But yeah, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, and Lanterns are now gearing up, as they should be. However, Waller was pushed back in favor of Peacemaker and The Authority, which I'm not mad at either. The Brave and the Bold, Swamp Thing, Booster Gold, and Paradise Lost haven't really made any progress, at least not as far as we've heard of beyond some short-lived Booster Gold casting rumors. Again, I'm not really expecting much from these yet, guys. They haven't gotten to these yet. They're still working on the other ones. I don't want them to just start working on everything at the same fucking time. We don't want them to just start putting out movies a week apart again, like Marvel did. But yeah, the slate felt a lot like Warner Brothers' ill-fated DCEU announcement, and DC Studios is already taking an awful lot more than what they might be able to handle. In the past year, Teen Titans, Bane, Deathstroke, and Robin movies have been added to the slate, and has a TV show revolving around Blue Beetle. And that was not part of Gods and Monsters, right? They told us this slate, these 10 projects, 10 movies and shows that were Gods and Monsters. They were very specific. They had, at least working titles or at least concepts. And now they've added this Teen Titans movie, this Bane Deathstroke thing, what do you call it? Robin movie, dynamic duo. To be fair, Gunn did say that Peter Safran, that Gunn and he mapped out a decade's worth of stories, and those may be part of that. Maybe this stuff we're hearing about is supposed to take place after Gods and Monsters Chapter 1. Did you ever think of that?
If that turns out to be true, they should have just kept that to the vest. I mean, right now, there just seems to be a real lack of focus, because my thing is we're supposed to be like really pushing the DCU, kind of getting people excited. There's a buzz, and the only buzz is really around Superman. I mean, I know that they dropped something for Creature Commandos, but that's it. And it's like that doesn't have as much of a draw as, of course, Superman. And you have these other projects with Batman. We haven't heard anything about that. Paradise Lost. We don't even know if Wonder Woman is a part of the first chapter. Like, it's just it's weird that we're getting all these announcements now with these shows that have nothing to do with your core universe that you're trying to rebuild. So I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Panicking for some reason. It seems like they're panicking, thinking that since we lost on the Joker, it seems like people are not enthused about us anymore. I think that's what's happening, because the Joker was supposed to be the Joker 2, supposed to be their boom, their smash hit leading into the Gunn universe. And that didn't happen for them. That they feel that momentum, regardless if it's part of that universe or not, the momentum as far as money wise on a DC film is not. It's not there anymore. We got got to get it back. We don't have it now. So,
right.
Well, like Sada was saying about like them putting out this information, telling us about these movies that aren't, to come for, a decade or whatever. And the problem with giving us all this information and telling us about this slate, right, is that okay, you got us all excited about these movies, but then we've got to wait 10 years for them to come out, so we lose interest. We're not excited anymore. Now to keep our interest, you've got to tell us some new shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, you should have kept something to the vest and just said, hey, guys, we're doing a Superman movie. Okay, cool.
Like that's this dynamic duo movie. Like, when is that supposed to come about? What is that even supposed to look like? And it's like, who cares? Because we know it's not part of the main DCU. At least I don't know. I would hope not.
At least it's yeah.
Like,
well, that's the thing.
I think what it is part of it. I think they're just trying to get out content, because if you look in the past, I don't know, maybe 5 years, there wasn't a lot of content. The content we did got is sucked. So I think they're looking at it like, well, listen, regardless to what we do, if we get some content out there that people like and can get with, like Joker was a random thing.
But they're not giving content. They're just giving us.
That's what I'm like, it's just talkings of it. It's not even like
right.
This movie's out, this movie's out, this movie's out.
Right. And that's their other downfall too. They give us this content so far into the future, we lose interest come 5 years from now. Because remember when they announced the plan for Cyborg, Aquaman, The Flash, Green Lantern, most of that stuff got canceled. Yeah, most of that stuff got canceled. Blue Beetle, and then the stuff when we did get it, they wanted to move on to something else, and they came out being subpar projects that people either liked it or they hated it, and most people hated it.
I think
so. You got to have focus. Marvel, the way Marvel did it, they had focus. They stuck to it. They did what they said. They bought it all out. We got what, 2 or 3 movies every year, or something like that, and it worked. It was good. They went to work. Like, you can't do 1 movie a year and then expect us to be interested in everything you got coming for the next 10 years. But it takes you 15 years to put out 5 movies.
I think now in the internet age, you can't put out a movie a year, because now everybody has ADHD, and every second some new content, some new thing to
attention span,
dopamine going. So I don't know, man. I'm an old school guy, so I don't mind the wait. It's just, okay, if we're 5 years out, don't announce it now. Announce it a year close.
Right, coming out.
Announce it then.
Because Warner Brothers, and I'm not gonna say DC, but Warner Brothers does
you gotta tell us some new shit that ain't coming out forever.
Yeah. You see, because Warner Brothers does that, and they did that with the original Batman movie. Remember when we got the original Batman movie? They had casted everybody. We knew we were getting the Batman 2. We knew we were getting the Batman 3. They had scheduled to make like 5 Batman movies, and it just was a disaster because they never stuck with the same director. They took people out, added people in. Marlon Wayans was even casted. They had to buy him out of his contract in order to get the guy that played Robin in there that was on NCIS. They literally had to buy him out of his contract because he was already paid. He was supposed to play Robin. Like, it was already etched in stone. Two-Face was etched in stone. All of those actors were already picked to play those roles. Like, when Batman 89 came out. When Batman 89 came out, they had a roadmap to what they were going to do, how they were going to do it. But what messed it up was they kept switching directors. The script kept getting changed and things. You got to have a plan and you got to stick to it. And it's got to be a good one.
Yeah.
They do have an uphill battle to face. They do. And they're going to have to find a new formula. The only is Brainiac. He said the Lobo. That's true. Yeah, that's true. That is definitely true. They start focusing on Trinity, DC. Thank you. I kept saying, and I said that. I've said that, NORAD.
They haven't even done that right yet, though. That's the thing. It's like, I would love for them to, especially in terms of just on Batman, because they ride Batman to the heavens, and whatever. That's their moneymaker because they've tarnished all their other characters. But whatever. But it's like they haven't even gotten the Trinity right, live action. Like Wonder Woman, what we got was not really great. Superman was fairly divisive. Batman hardly got any time to really, sit with him. So I just feel like we haven't had a true proper Trinity yet for us to move on and do these other characters the way they should be done. So
that Trinity, it wasn't properly done. They tried to do it with Batman versus Superman, and I don't know. It's like you said, they got problems.
I was about to say, man, they were making Animal Man. It's DC. Everything good. The Green and the Red Lanterns, right? Like Venom, like with Marvel, like what Sony did with Venom. You could knock out a Red Lantern movie. Come on, you could do it some justice.
Yeah. No, this Batman and Wonder Woman are missing. I love this art right here. It looks like Ed Hardy or some shit. Like not like a tattoo, that tattoo art, that old school tattoo art. He said it's easy enough to see why Gunn wanted to prioritize Superman. For starters, he wrote and directed the movie, and The Man of Tomorrow is in desperate need of a reboot after Zack Snyder and Henry Cavill's moody take on the iconic superhero, which I thought Man of Steel was the best Superman movie ever. It's my favorite. I know I'm crazy. I'm in the minority, but it made me a fan of Superman because I did not like him before. He's a fucking Boy Scout. I'm not a boy. I'm an anti-hero guy. I'm a Batman guy. So hate me. Fuck it. Still, as we near 2 years since the DCU slate was first announced, there's been no word on Batman or Wonder Woman. Shortly before The Flash was released in theater, Andy Muschietti was announced as the Brave and the Bold's director after a baffling move, which immediately left fans questioning Gunn's decision-making. Flash was a box office bomb, and while reviews skewed more positive than negative, Muschietti's direction, including appalling CG sequences and creepy cameos, was not well received. Perhaps it's for the best that Batman hasn't been cast, particularly when the DCU's Cape Crusader will need to compete with Matt Reeves and Robert Pattinson's joint, which is the best fucking thing, I think, since Keaton and Burton. But anyway, as for Wonder Woman, Gunn has avoided any of the questions about Diana Prince, particularly in the wake of Gal Gadot claiming that she'll return as the Amazon.
Please let that be.
See, I know Sada don't want that. Stu, he wants that because he's a Gal Gadot fan. Paradise Lost is meant to be a prequel on the mascara. But yeah, there we go. There's my guy, Bane. That's a dope picture too. The Gods and Monsters slate. Now, we touched on this earlier, but the DC Studios' major misstep might have been announcing a slate of projects without filmmakers attached. Now they need to deliver on those or face being compared to Warner Brothers' slate of DC titles that never materialized. Remember Cyborg? Yep. Bouncing back from a terrible 2023 isn't going to be easy for that brand, but The Authority, Swamp Thing, Waller, Paradise Lost, these don't feel like movies and TV shows capable of restoring DC's good name and increasing interest in a superhero franchise that has been in bad state as Sony's Marvel universe, thanks to the DCEU. What do you guys think? I mean, The Authority, Swamp Thing, Waller, Paradise Lost, these are not the main things, but do you think they should focus more on the Trinity or more on some side shit?
I think for now, because they're trying to rebuild, I think they should focus on like the main
characters.
Yeah,
main draws.
Like trying to pump The Authority, Waller to like really bring the people back. That just sounds nonsensical to me. Like I don't know. It's like it's very strange.
Well, like starting with Superman is obviously it's why he did.
I think that's fine, but it's just like everything else is like a what if from there. Like, okay, what is this Batman gonna really be like? We don't know if Wonder Woman's there, and if you don't want to do the Justice League right now, that's fine. But it's just like everything seems so far away as far as like our heroes in the Justice League and just like some of the other major villains even. So it's like
you know what I really hope about the Batman movie, the Brave and the Bold.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the Pattinson, right? The dark, black suit, very gritty, we've got that. I'm hoping that we get like a new, a blue and gray suit, like a more upbeat, more colorful take on Batman that we've never seen in live action. I'm a fan of the blue and gray. And Gunn, is the guy that could make that actually cool and not corny and not, just goofy and whack and campy. But I would love to see that. That's what I'm hoping they do with Brave and the Bold. But that, that's real wishful thinking. Basically, I want to see a comic book on screen. I mean, look at this. Look at this. The Long Halloween.
But if we look back at the Swamp Thing series that they had and they cut it short, that thing was great. You know what I mean?
That was nice. That was a good show.
It was a good show, and I think if they would have,
I hope they do that again.
Yeah, they should. If they're gonna do Swamp Thing, do it like that. You don't need a Swamp Thing.
Oh yeah.
You do a series like the Penguin, do it with Swamp Thing. That's how you do it.
That show was great.
Yeah, certain characters don't need a movie. They exist on a television show just as it's just great, if not way better than any other movie. You know what I mean?
But you know why? Because I think some characters need more than a 2-hour story to tell their story right. Yeah, and to really fill them, man. Because listen, I think shows are superior to movies now.
Yeah,
I think TV used to be the redheaded stepchild. No one cared. It was like the lesser of the films were everything.
Yeah.
Now these shows, man, they're better than movies that are coming out. They're basically like 15-hour movies, and they can tell amazing stories with all the nuance and detail of a great novel. And it's live action, so you would see now I catch myself watching movies going, whoa, we're already to that. Like I thought, like we're not gonna build up to that. Like they just were talking about that. Now we're already at the robbery. Like what happened in between? Like you know what I mean? But that's because I'm used to watching these shows, man. Ever since Sopranos, man, and Game of Thrones and all that shit, it's just you can't beat it. And then Disney Plus comes out, and I'm thinking, oh great, we're gonna get some HBO quality comic shows, and we don't. We get the bullshit they gave us. But Penguin is a step in the right direction. Penguin is it's like almost an HBO fucking quality. It's almost as a Sopranos level show, and it production wise, it's phenomenal. So we'll see where the story goes.
It's really
good. Yeah, I really like it. Episode 3 is tomorrow night, so we'll be talking about that.
Watch episode 2.
Oh yeah, you didn't see it yet? Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, no, I've only seen the first one. It's really, really good.
Yeah, two dives even more into Sophia Falcone, which I think is a great character.
Yeah, you'll like it.
Yeah. Even those newly announced projects do little to inspire confidence. Teen Titans, after the disappointing streaming series. Is Bane and Deathstroke just meant to capitalize on Deadpool and Wolverine's success? The Odd Couple pairing, casting an actor who will be in his 60s to play Hal Jordan, has also upset many fans. So we were talking about that. Yeah. What's his name?
What was his name? Green Lantern.
The guy they cast for Hal Jordan, he's Stu, we were talking about him Wednesday. You remember?
Hal Jordan.
Is it
Stu ain't even here. I'm talking to Stu. Where the fuck did he go?
Oh, Kyle Chandler, I believe.
He had to go fight. He had to go to work. Okay.
He had to go fight crime.
Kyle Chandler, yeah.
I believe that's him.
Yeah. No, Guy Gardner is gonna be in the Gods and Monsters slate, the DCU. Kyle Chandler is gonna play Hal Jordan in the Lanterns series with Jon Stewart. So it'll be Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart in the show Lanterns, which is also going to be a HBO level, Penguin type show that's supposedly going to be similar to True Detective, which is an HBO show.
Yeah, I mean, if they do it, if they mix in True Detective and Men in Black, I think they'll see success.
Yeah, and that's what we're being told. So, the DCU did little to help characters like Aquaman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and Flash. So, I disagree here about the Aquaman thing. I think the DCU tremendously created an Aquaman fan base that was not there before. Aquaman is one of those characters nobody liked. Yeah, no fan. So.
They did it right. I mean, Aquaman was pretty dope. I like Aquaman.
Yeah, out of that whole slate, it was one of the best of them. Still, when his reaction is Slate more about wow, might be in trouble. No clear direction yet. It's important to note that DC Studios has far enlisted a lot of phenomenal talents in both behind and in front of the camera. Superman's costume design is admittedly questionable, and Gunn's has cast many of his friends, but doesn't feel like he's trying to do right by these characters. Ultimately, with over a year and a half having passed since DC Studios was revealed to us, it would just have been nice to have a better sense of where DCU is heading. While it's true that we didn't know Marvel Studios was aiming for the Avengers until Iron Man's post-credit scene, there's no team-up project on the DCU slate, and instead it appears like Justice League International will already exist and be a corporate team sponsored by Maxwell Lord. Not every superhero franchise needs a big crossover, but even crossover event, but the MCU has made that the exception for casual and hardcore fans alike. Right now, we don't know where the DCU is headed, and until we get some insights into that, it's a little hard to care about what feels like a slate consisting of ideas thrown at a wall to see what sticks. Wow, that's harsh.
That's real.
but he's not lying. He's not lying.
Kind of not lying right now. I'm trying to have faith because I'm a DC girl first, and it's just rough. Like, it's just so rough.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't mad at the casting. I didn't realize he was that old. I thought he'd play a good Hal Jordan. Actually, looks kind of like him, like how I would imagine him to be in live action.
Yeah, but they're going, and I guarantee you, they're drawing from Men in Black. That's where they're drawing from because look at the comparison. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Will Smith, and then you had what's his name?
Right.
Mentor. What have you?
Tommy Lee.
Yeah, I feel like they're bringing him in to immediately phase him out and bring on. I mean, I don't know if they're
Guy Gardner,
John Stewart. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I feel like he's just being brought in to be phased out, and that's like, oh.
Yeah. No, they are doing Guy Gardner because he's going to be in the Superman movie, actually.
Yes, played by Nathan Fillion. It's going to be very hard to not hear Hal Jordan because I believe he voiced him in a lot of the animated movies.
Oh, did he really, Nathan?
Yeah, I think in the New 52 verse, he was that was Green Lantern.
Oh wow, that's crazy. Yeah, that's nutty. Well, the Superman cast is definitely growing. Gunn said he is really a cool character. Sorry. Talking about Frank Grillo's version of Rick Flag Sr., who's going to be a character from Suicide Squad that's going to be in the Superman movie for whatever reason and for whatever capacity. I don't know. He's going to first appear in Creature Commandos. I'm sorry, not what you call it. Frank Grillo is an up and coming actor. He's been in a bunch of shit. But Rick Flag Sr. is a character that we've seen before, and he's going to be in Creature Commandos, then Superman, then Peacemaker Season 2. And Gunn had elaborated on his larger role in the DC universe. And what he said was he's a really cool character that Frank has been molding. The character is also in Superman, and he's an incredibly important character in Peacemaker. He is one of the primary characters in Peacemaker Season 2, so we will get to see this character from different angles, and he's not simple. He is just a good guy. I'm sorry. This isn't just a good guy, not at all. We see all different sides of his character. He is morally a complex human being. Grillo is somebody who I've known for a little while, and I've wanted to work with for a long time. He's one of the first people that I talked to when I took over the studio. Like, we're going to find something cool for you, and now he is everywhere. What his role means for the DCU, take on James Gunn's DCU crossover. But yeah, it's that's a decent character, but that's just a new casting. But the DC the dynamic duo movie, the Robin movie, announced with Matt Reeves and James Gunn. It's an animated film. Okay, so don't worry. It's not like what's this new Robin movie? It's not a live action movie that they're going to try and wedge in. Although they did tell us that all the animated stuff was connected to the live action stuff. So I don't know how this fits, but it's a new animated film coming from DC Studios. Dynamic duo has been green lit at this point DC Studios, Warner Brothers Pictures Animation, and it's going to follow the early days of Dick Grayson and Jason Todd, two characters who eventually become Batman's partner Robin at different times. And the studio, or James Gunn rather, and the Batman's Matt Reeves are two of the producers of Dynamic Duo.
Okay.
So yeah. So like Matt Reeves, guys, remember he's doing The Batman, which is not connected to the DCU's James Gunn's DCU, who will have its own Batman, the Brave and the Bold thing. So the Matt Reeves, the Pattinson Batman, totally separate universe. It's called Elseworlds, right? It's not part of DCU, the DC universe, just like the comics, publishing Elseworlds. So, but yeah, they're gonna produce. Gunn, he posted about it on Twitter and shit with the logo and everything, and he said, "Over the moon, excited to announce the DC studio Warner Brothers Pictures Animation greenlit film for theaters, Dynamic Duo: The Story of Robin, or should I say Robins, as in Dick Grayson and Jason Todd. The first feature film from the visionary." Hang on, let me scroll it up. Not now. From visionary Swaybox, a mix of animation, puppetry, and CGI. A script from a script from the wonderfully talented Matt Aldrich, produced with our partners at Matt Reeves' 6th and Idaho. This is something special. End quote. Yeah, I mean, it does sound really weird and cool. How you mix animation, puppetry, and CGI in like a good way, I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, but
good Lord.
Now, as far as like what to expect, being made by Swaybox, which is a New Orleans-based animation studio from husband and wife creators Arthur Mintz and Teresa Anderson. Swaybox uses Momo animation, which combines CGI, stop motion, and live action real-time puppet performance. I don't think it means sock puppets either. I mean, like probably animatronic or some, live action thing. But Mintz will direct from a script by Matthew Aldrich. What'd you say?
It's like Five Nights at Freddy or something like that. Animatronic.
Right, maybe, yeah. The guy who wrote Coco and Lightyear, Matthew Aldrich, is writing the script. Like I said, producing it is Gunn and Safran's DC Studios, with Matt Reeves via 6th and Idaho is the name of his studio, and Anderson's via Swaybox Studios. So it's like these 3 production studios. Who knows? They could make something really cool. They could make a clusterfuck. But Reeves said in a statement on Deadline, he said, "I have wanted to make a film with Arthur and Swaybox for many years, and for that film to be Dynamic Duo, an incredibly special, unique Batman and Robin story for families, is a dream." So this is going to be a kids movie. When I say kids movie, family movie, I'm sure we'll enjoy it as well. But Dynamic Duo is not connected to Matt Reeves' Batman universe. That the Batman and the Penguin show is from. The DC Robin movie, though, is like the first joint project between DC Studios and Warner Brothers Pictures Animation. Animation will be, part of a big part of Gunn's DCU universe. Obviously, starting off with Creature Commandos and the first TV series in the whole Gods and Monsters joint. And Dynamic Duo doesn't have like a release date. We're not being told where this fits, where it comes in, when it comes out, or anything about anything like that. I think again they've already kind of showed their whole hand, and now we're like, okay, either show us something or we're fucking bored, and basically they're like, okay, we'll give them some more stuff to dream about. So I guess they had no fucking choice at this point than to start telling us about new shit that isn't coming for a long time down the road. But let me see. Let me. While I'm talking though, I've been searching for any information about how it fits And I did find something. So I did find something. Hang on, what's going on over here, y'all? Wait, hang on 1 second. My bad. His age shouldn't matter if he's a good actor. Talking about the Green Lantern dude. Yeah, I agree totally. He looks like an older Green Lantern from Kingdom Come. That was Alan Scott. Yep. Superman movie is almost done filming. Oh, it's done filming. Yes. We need a trailer. Yes, sir. They'll be dropping that pretty soon. Probably drop Superman trailer in February. Super Bowl. Good idea. We want Pattinson to be the new DCU Batman. I don't know.
Pattinson needs to be in that universe that he's in and
Yeah.
period.
I don't want them jumping actors in different universes because it confuses people. It confuses the whole story. And then it's like, why? And it's like, and again, remember the DCU is different than Elseworld. So that Batman, that Pattinson is a dark Batman. He's all, he wears all black. It's a darker take. It's a dark, gritty universe, more realism and stuff like that. James Gunn is going to be more like a comic book. Much more like a comic book than the DCEU stuff was, right? Man of Steel, those Batman movies, the Affleck and all that shit. All that stuff was supposed to be like dark and gritty and kind of realistic and cinematic. Gunn is going less cinematic, more comic book. So brighter colors, think more family friendly, even upbeat, classic superheroes, a Boy Scout Superman, that kind of thing. But the dynamic duo movie, where that kind of fits in, let's see here. Browser can't access your screen. Try capturing a different screen. But I don't want a different screen. I want that screen.
Sada jumped out. Peace, Sada.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened to Sada. She just disappeared. She didn't say nothing. Oh, did she say something in the chat? Oh, she got to head out. Okay. Yeah, she said much love, everybody. She had to head out.
Peace out, Sada.
Yeah. Definitely. Thanks for coming, and we will see you next time.
Yes, indeed.
So Gunn and Stamp on DC Mythos continue to grow with their tenure running. So the DC animated movie, Dynamic Duo, is a direct part of the DC Studios' main DC universe, which will encompass various movies and television shows under one cohesive canon. While the majority DCU projects have been announced and have been live action, the saga is set to kick off with an animated series, December's Creature Commandos. With that in mind, it certainly wouldn't be impossible for a Dynamic Duo to be DCU canon. But given the long timeline of developing animation, it could cause an interesting creative conundrum. The DCU's Batman corner is already set to include The Brave and the Bold, a new live-action film starring Bruce Wayne Batman and Damian Wayne Robin, which is set to be directed by Andy Muschietti and has remained in development for the better part of the past year. While not confirmed by DC Studios, there are also reports that Supergirl, Wonder Woman of Tomorrow, screenwriter Anna Nogueira is penning a Teen Titans film, which would presumably include at least one of the Robins. Probably not the Damian Wayne, probably the Dick Grayson or Jason Todd. If Dynamic Duo does end up being DCU canon, even as a prequel showcasing the early days of Dick Grayson and Jason's superhero careers, it would be laying a lot on the canonical groundwork for how the DCU's Gotham City is translated in the future. Because remember, it would have to take place in the same Gotham. So it would be... I'm thinking this is not going to tell us when it's going to happen, but I think it should happen after. There's also theories that Dynamic Duo has some sort of connection to the Matt Reeves Batman saga, helped by the fact that Reeves is serving as executive producer. Guys, that's it. Do not follow any more of those rumors. It does not take place in the Reeves universe. Reeves is just producing. He's helping produce this one. Dynamic Duo being a sequel to the Batman trilogy would be unexpected, but would definitely provide a distinct interpretation that the corner's gritty live-action world of that corner. Robert Pattinson is capable of delivering a wacky voice acting performance. What? That being said, Dynamic Duo is not the first time Reeves is helping bring a Batman project to life that has nothing to do with his movies, as he, J.J. Abrams, and Bruce Timm are all involved with Batman, with Prime Video's Batman Cape Crusader animated series. So there you go. That's another thing that Matt Reeves is producing about Batman that has nothing to do with his universe, the Batman universe. That leaves us with the third and arguably most likely option, that Swaybox is a standalone feature film that potentially will be under the DC Elseworlds banner. That's what I think, and that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping this is not part of DCU, actually. I'm hoping this is just an Elseworlds thing, a standalone one-shot. Gunn and Safran have confirmed plans to use the banner on new and existing projects, ranging from Teen Titans Go, Merry Little Batman, and beyond. There are already rumors of a Jurassic League animated film being in development at DC Studios, which, given its entire pitch being another universe's Dinosaur Justice League, would probably be under DC Elseworlds as well. And it's easy to imagine Dynamic Duo joining that roster, allowing the project to thrive as its own entity, or maybe even its own pocket franchise if it's successful. But given the distinct animation style that Swaybox is bringing to this project, it would certainly provide DC's answer to the recent juggernauts of Sony's Spider-Verse animated movies and Paramount's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, without having to adhere to any specific canon. Either way, there's a good chance that Dynamic Duo will end up being something special to the future of the DC brand. But I don't think it's going to really mash in too deep with the DCU at all. One last DC thing. Superman and Lois season 4. I don't know if anybody's been watching Superman and Lois, but the death of Superman has never hit this hard. And Superman and Lois, the show itself, has managed to do the impossible. In only 4 seasons, the series has reinvented an American icon. A Superman who's existed as the face of pop culture for what, 90 years now, and not only created something new, but crafted a show that feels right at home in the canon. And it's got an older Clark Kent married to Lois Lane. They've got 2 teenage boys moving to Smallville, and the first 3 seasons of Superman and Lois mostly revolved around Clark returning to his hometown after the death of his mother. But throughout the series, Clark's impact on Smallville is becoming more apparent, and his sons are forced to adjust not only to their new lives, but also the fact that their father is Superman. Right? They find out, and so after the events of season 3, Clark wants to protect his family from Lex Luthor, and fights off the monster Doomsday. Or fights the monster Doomsday, which we know in the comics is the only guy that ever killed him. And season 4, which also marks the ending of the series, adapts one of these iconic stories. So the first 3 episodes provided for a review are dark and heartbreaking, but they remind us all, why we fell in love with that series in the first place. And but season 4, Superman and Lois, one of the most Death of Superman, right? It's Death of Superman, one of the most famous Man of Steel comic book storylines. Battling against Doomsday to his death, and while the comic book might be one of Superman's most popular titles, it's not known for its depth. It's not one of the deep, literary comics. Its narrative is pretty hollow. It's leaning into the shock value of Superman's demise. And it comes in a time in an era of comics where shit was more all about in your face action and over the top stuff. And thankfully now that when they're adapting this arc for the show, they remember that the character driven stories are where Superman and Lois has always done best. And so the writing on it is fucking peak. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's better than the comic, but it almost is better than the comic.
Yeah, it's better than the damn Superman movie, though. I tell you where they did that Doomsday.
Right. Yeah. Yes, and yeah, and the Superman and Lois version of Clark is invincible, but he's also flawed, being who he only wants to do what's right for his family, and and those close to him. So the season here asks the question, what happens if Superman is gone? And after all, he's not just a symbol of hope for his family. The entire world looks to him, for not only inspiration, but protection and all kinds of shit like that. So once we reach that moment, the series sort of takes a turn, and John and Jordan, the teens, are grieving their father's death, and Lois tries to hold the family together. And writing a character as big as Superman out of this story is a really big risk and a really big challenge, especially with the very dynamic take on the Man of Steel that we've gotten from this actor, being such an essential part of the show. That's what makes this show, really. And so the cast is definitely capable of carrying on without him, but Lois Lane is now taking center stage. And as the show's title suggests, the series is just as much about Lois as it is about Superman. And the actress, who plays Lois, definitely elevates the character from the damsel in distress type that she's sort of known for, love interest rather, that we mostly see. She's a mother, she's a journalist, she's the only one who's capable of helping this family, move forward at this point. And even though she's struggling, and her nuanced, sort of take on Lois definitely is more compelling than any take I've ever seen on Lois Lane in any form of any medium. So, and listen, I'm not a Superman fan really, and I'm not really a fan of TV at all. I don't like TV shows. I was just talking earlier how I think shows are better. I don't mean shows that you see on network TV. Network TV shows are ass. They've always been ass. I don't like them. CW, I don't fuck with that shit. I don't like commercials. I don't like TV. When I say I like TV shows, I mean I like shows, series, but like the kind you see on HBO, the kind you might get on a streaming service that are like top-notch quality production. That said, Superman and Lois is the best Superman show ever. And Raw Talk, did you play the new G.I. Joe game?
Nah, man, not yet. I haven't had time, man. Like this whole week, I'm in the city now, back in the city, and with clients, so I'm dead to the world during the week, man. I'm just working, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't really have time.
Yeah.
But I will get it to check it out at some point. Yeah. I know it's like a scrolling game, right? Like
Right.
bad dudes, or maybe
yeah.
What's the other one?
Well, it's like yeah, it reminds me of that, or the TMNT side scroller, Double like Dragon, or yeah. But it's like that, but with guns. I mean, it's like a side scroll Contra-ish, maybe.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna actually get it when it drops, if it drops.
Yeah,
it dropped, right?
Yeah. It just came out. It's out.
I might have to get it tomorrow if at some point. But
I haven't seen it yet. Yeah, I haven't played it yet, man.
Yeah, I gotta try it and see what's up with it. Yeah, man, I'm down for that type of game. Anything G.I. Joe. I got. Speaking of the G.I. Joe game, you know what I'm saying? I even got this one for the damn Switch. So
I go Dark Side or Doomsday.
Doomsday. He looks ill.
Yeah.
See, that's a Doomsday. The one they had in the movie, that wasn't Doomsday. That was some bogus ass CGI.
Yeah, bro.
Oh, there go my guy, Lex Luthor.
Yeah. But look how you look like you flying.
Yeah, right. Well, he can fly. Remember, he got powers.
Yeah, he flying through. His cape, Superman's cape torn up.
The only thing is, I mean, I know they left it off like that, but Superman, he could regenerate
Yeah.
using the sun. So
Yeah.
even when he's down to bones and flesh, he
Yeah.
can regenerate. Shit, he became the sun at one point.
Yeah.
He regenerated the sun. Yeah.
The sun.
Yeah. The son
Yeah.
of Krypton.
Yeah. Son of sun. Um. Speaking of GI Joe, though, the new what you call it series has a little
Slate.
homage to the women. Yeah, the women of GI Joe.
Yeah.
A little.
Good
What do you
goodies I
call it?
got in Slade. Let me show you
Did you get the new?
some
Did
goodies.
this ain't this can't? Is this out yet? GI Joe
November, I think 11th.
#1. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait. These are all for #2. Oh, this is okay. No, my bad. Nope. This is #1, #2, #3, and #4.
And remember, these GI Joe characters are based off of the what you call it, the something verse, the Void
Uh,
Rivals and all that.
oh yeah.
So they're
Yeah,
actually the action figure versions
the
that you have,
classified.
the classified. So those are all the classified
Yeah,
characters.
there's the classified right there.
Yeah. Oh
They
wow.
actually made figures of that.
Yeah. I'll be getting those books.
Yeah, there's the his tank.
Yeah, that one looked crazy. They went crazy with the voluptuousness of the characters.
Yeah. The dog did it.
Look at the cakes on that one.
Bro, check the cakes out right here.
Yo, wow, caked them.
Wow, caked them.
They wild out, man.
They
But
did.
that's if you looked in the comic shops, you see most of the covers that are on the stands. If it's not Superman, Batman, or whatever, most of the female covers are caked out. All of them.
Yeah.
Vampirella is definitely a porno, a Pino or whatever. They got girls with guns. They got a whole bunch of wild stuff out there now. So it's like cakedom is in effect.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the Skybound, GI Joe Skybound universe. It does come out November 13th, #1.
13th.
Yep.
Okay.
And it's the culmination of the miniseries that we've gotten for Cobra Commander, Duke, Destro, and Scarlet. And officially, jump the Joes and the Cobras into the Energon universe, and then we get to take a look a while back and some preview some pages and initial covers that we were looking at, and I found these female covers and shit. But yeah, it's been a great series so far. I can't wait for this new GI Joe to come out. Speaking of new,
that was the culmination of the Destro, the Duke, the Cobra Commander, and the Scarlet. Now they're converging now. So now we got the basis of those characters. Now we go into full on GI Joe. So, and this is not the Hama. This is not continuing homage.
No.
This is totally its own right,
Skybound,
its own storyline, its own characterization. So anything traditional we may think about GI Joe, that's the Hama lore. This lore is totally modernized and forward, with the technology and stuff like that. So a lot of people will be like, yo, it's not like Hamas because it's not meant to be. Just like the IDW had it offshoot and the Image had it offshoot. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we'll see what they do with it this time, take it into areas we needed to go, and we'll see. It's been enjoyable so far. So, like you said.
Oh, you came late. You didn't see the new Moon Knight, did you?
Oh, dang. Wow. Cloth cape? No cloth cape.
No, not a cloth cape.
Come on, man. Why
but
they?
He's from
why
the
they fronting? They fronting hard.
Marvel Legends. Yeah, Marvel Legends hasn't stepped it up to cloth yet. DC, what do you call it? Todd McFarlane has just now started putting cloth capes on everything.
Yeah, Marvel Legends need to step it up, but I know what they're doing. They did some cloth capes like on Doom or.
Oh, they did. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. But
That's
they
right.
need to
I
do the
got the
clothes
doom with the
for,
cloth.
yeah. Because those plastic capes are for, you know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, we're not in Fisher Price mode no more, man. You know, give the soft goods up. You know, these figures keep going up in price, and you're not gonna come with the cloth cape. You don't even have to do the cloth cape with wires. You can leave the little portholes so people can put their own wires in.
Yeah, exactly. I put
Practical in
my
that
own
manner.
wires on that bitch.
Yeah, look, see, Doom look dope.
Cloth cape.
You know what I'm saying? No
He couldn't
Robert
sit.
Downey though.
He couldn't sit in the chair if he didn't have a cloth cape.
Exactly.
You know. So yeah, the cloth cape is important. Marvel, come on now, look what we could do.
Mm-hmm. Doom.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
but they'll probably do it at some point in 2025 and then make everybody buy the shit all over again. Yep. But my advice to people, when they do that stuff and they want to recharge you for the same mold and figure but add a cloth cape, just go to eBay or somewhere else where people are selling cloth capes for your figures. Just do that. You know what I'm saying? They should have a division with Marvel Legends just for accessory packs. Just do that. Make the people happy. You know, they want to squeeze they want to squeeze blood from a stone. It's too late for that. People are hip to the game. You see McFarlane's doing it, and truth be told, he only got a limited amount of time with that shit, man. Because it gets weak when you're selling the same mold character 4 times. Oh, I'm just gonna add this color. Then I'm gonna add this color. Oh, then I'm gonna add soft goods. Then I'm gonna change this up a little bit. I'm gonna give it a Joker face. I know you want to make money, but dang.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I don't. It's got to be cheaper, I would think, to make the cloth cape. I mean, that's a lot of plastic.
For what?
That's a whole mold and everything else.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But
I mean, there is something to be said for the plastic cape. I mean, the plastic cape does give you the cool dynamic mold pose. You can't get that with a cloth cape. So there is. I mean, some people do prefer these capes to the cloth because the cloth cape just hangs. It doesn't do anything cool.
Yeah, but if you're doing an action pose like he's falling
put
from
the wire in it.
Yeah.
Put the wire in it, and you can do shit. You can do sort of shit like this, but still, some people like the molding and have them molded. You know, whatever. I'm not. I don't care. For me, I'd rather have the cloth with the wire in it.
Yeah.
Because I've done some really dope ass poses with them wire capes. And wire capes are fun, man. You can set them up all kind of ways, man. I got shits where they're like flying off to the side and shit like that.
Yeah,
dope.
exactly. Like the wind is blowing and stuff like that. And you got to give it up for the imports. The imports really set it off like that. Yeah, you see that?
Yep. So they got the new spinoff coming out. They've had a bunch of spinoffs already. We've seen a bunch of them.
I seen that last night. My wife was like, "What? I thought they was done with the show." I was like,
"Man, I'm glad this is."
I told him, "No, they're not."
This is the one.
He's going to Chicago.
No, this is the one where it shows Tommy and Ghost as teens.
Yeah, but
young kids growing up.
But the spinoff is separate from the finale last night. They had at
Ghost Power 2, Book 2.
Yeah, so the spinoff is, spoiler alert for those who didn't see it or who's interested. At the end, Ghost's son, Tariq, he gets a phone call, because he beat all the odds. He's the man in charge now.
Right.
He's the new Ghost.
Right.
But he gets a call on the phone, mysterious person on the line talking about they need him up there to help him out with something. And he was like, family first always, and to that effect, which is Uncle Tommy. So he's going to Chicago. It's not over for Tariq. He's going there. And I'm quite sure the other actors that was in the book too will wind up in Chicago, like one of the Tejada sons, he'll be in Chicago. And I mean, it's great entertainment. It was fun while it lasted, but it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yep. It says the Power universe is set to introduce its fourth spinoff following the main show. And while I'm happy Tommy and Ghost will share the spotlight, it's not the reunion I wanted. After an impressive 6 seasons, Power wrapped up its main story. It's funny he says that, and his other one is titled "This is the spinoff I've waited years for." But now he said it's not the one I wanted. It is the one I wanted. I wanted to see. I love prequels. I love prequel shows. And I like to see the 80s, and that's why I love the what you call it, the Kanan prequel, because it take place in the 80s in New York. I love that era. You know, that's my childhood, and so I love that 80s New York. You know, and
it's
this is going to be more 80s New York.
It's 90s for Kanan.
Yeah, 90s. Yeah, 90s. Well, Kanan started in the 80s. Kanan is started in the 80s, late 80s.
And he went to the 90s.
I think it starts in 88 or something like that. And then it starts in 88 and goes to like 92, Kanan, something like that.
Yeah.
But
tell by the fits.
Right, exactly. And he said Power wrapped up his main story, and despite not everyone being a fan of the conclusion, the franchise continued its narrative through multiple spin-offs. Kanan was given a prequel series due to the character's popularity, while both Tyreek and Tommy starred in their own shows. However, both Power Book Ghost and Force are ending to make way for a new series, Power Origins. That's what's about to come out. Origins will focus on Tommy and Ghost's lives before the events of the original series, meaning the franchise's 2 most popular characters will once again be the focal point of the franchise. It's a bit of a gamble canceling 2 popular shows to make way for a new one, but I'm confident that the Power spinoff will be good and act as a solid replacement. It will allow Tommy's transition from one spinoff to another, while Ghost will essentially replace Tariq. But despite a solid concept, I wish Tommy and Ghost were given a different kind of reunion.
Well, what the Tariq show, I mean, if everybody watched it and they understood that Tariq and his homeboy, that was Ghost and Tommy right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the new incarnation.
Right.
So, but
except that dude was not nothing like Tommy. That white boy was not Tommy. He wasn't no Tommy.
I mean, you know, he was on his road. He was sniffing his coke. He was doing wild, rowdy stuff.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he started to get down. He started to get down.
So he was going crazy. He was earning his stripes. But at the same time, with Tommy came up in the hood, so it was totally different from Braden. Braden came up from rich part of whatever,
rich people. Yeah.
So, but I'm telling
this
you,
this shit's a decade old, y'all. Power is a decade old. I can't believe it. That shit started in 2014. Power 1, then Power Book 2, Ghost in 2020, Power Book 3, Raising Kanan in 21, and Power Book 4, Force. That was the Tommy show in 2022. Now this is Power Book 5, Origins. Now they might do a Power Book 6, which is a follow-up of the Tariq show, because at the end with that phone call, there might be
no. That's not Tariq. That show is done. The call was from Tommy and the Force. So Tariq is jumping to the Force. Yeah.
Okay, got you.
Jumping over there. You know what I mean?
I see.
That's where they're going to carry it a little bit, you know.
Force season 2 or 3 or whatever. Yeah.
So the last season of Force will have Tariq St. Patrick in it, and it'll be a thing where you had Kane Tejada. He's going to be up in Chicago, because remember, old boy, that's his cousin with the dreads. I forgot his name. He's a rapper from Chicago. He said, "Yo, I ain't got time to go to jail. I'm going back home." So boom. So it's gonna go. Everything gonna be in Chicago now. And that's bang. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. Slate said I can't keep up with all the Power shows. Yeah. It's a lot of listen. In my opinion, for me, as long as you watch the original one and Kanan, I think you're good. I could skip Ghost and I could skip Force. Honestly, those are the ones that to me aren't as good. They're good, but you don't need them. They're good, but I don't know.
I liked it because I was always a Tariq fan, man, because he was the smartest out of everybody, even his father and stuff. Like he couldn't. His father wasn't smart enough to know that that
I didn't like. I don't think he should have killed him. I think that was poorly written shit right there. I don't think he should have actually pulled the trigger.
Yeah, it was morbid.
That was
But I
that's kind of ill.
But I
Yeah.
think Tariq St. Patrick, I think that was the one that was really meant to be the title of the whole show, Ghost. Because if you look at it, it's you going through a development phase with that kid, and it was just you seen he wasn't normal. He was well smart for his age and everything.
Prodigy.
Yeah, and then with his twin sister getting murdered and stuff, he went over the edge, and now he's the dude. And at the end of that show, it was Bug, the African dude, was like, "Oh, he said you don't even have to be mad." He's like, "Oh, like a ghost." He's like, "Yeah, a ghost." And then it shut off. I was like, I knew that was gonna happen. Yeah, I enjoy this series, man.
Okay.
That's my thing. I like it.
It says Power Book 2 and 4's cancellations seem to be largely down to financial reasons. Alongside wanting to tell fresh stories with the Power universe, going beyond a fourth season would make both these shows more expensive, meaning a new spin-off with a fresh cast is far more cost-effective. While this means Power Book 4 Force could technically still have another season after its upcoming return, and it seems Starz wants to prioritize its new show, especially since its star will a younger version of Tommy. Thankfully, both of these spinoffs will still get a chance to conclude their stories. So they are finishing. I guess Ghost finished. I guess Force has one more season.
Coming up. I mean, yeah. This I think is December or something like that. The next one is the next one is Kanan. Then after Kanan is Force.
Yeah. Oh, Kanan has another season.
Yeah, Kanan has another season. The last season. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool. I'm glad. That's my favorite of all of them. Kanan is my favorite. Yeah.
It's wild.
Because of the era.
Yeah, most definitely.
You see all the era and the location. Late 80s New York, early 90s New York. That's my era.
Straight up, you see old girl, she's always in polo, that low life situation. You know what I mean? It brings me back like that era. It's like, yeah, you had to be low down.
So. Everything. Yeah. Joey Badass plays a dope character. That's a dope role right there.
Unique. Yeah.
Unique.
Yeah. But yeah, man. So it's the series is dope. They
okay. It says right, it says both Ghost and Force will get a final season, and if they have time to rush, even if they have to rush some of the storylines to get them wrapped up. Although this may potentially hinder the quality of the spin-off's final seasons, it's far better than Power Book, Ghost, and Force getting canceled without a definitive ending. Power, given Power only lasted 6 seasons anyway, extending these spin-offs for much longer could have risked them becoming exhausting. And I think now is the perfect time for them to give a proper send-off. I agree. And
as far as the amount of money would have been spent on the actors, paying the actors, then they got to still pay 50. They still gotta pay him. You know what I mean? And this last spinoff that they do with the Ghost and Tommy thing, that's their like final, because that's it. After they do I think that's gonna only last a season or 2.
Right.
I don't even think it's gonna go that far because remember, Kanan's supposed to meet up with Ghost and Tommy because he brought them into the game.
Yeah.
So
that's why I think the end of Kanan is going to roll into the beginning of Origins.
Exactly. There you have it. That's what's
going to
happen.
I think the young Tommy and the young Ghost, we're going to see them in like the final episodes of the Kanan show.
Yes.
And then it'll then it should start from there. That'll be dope. And the Kanan show, man, y'all, if you haven't, it's a dope character development, dog, because Kanan goes from a really like a good kid to fucking Kanan, you know what I mean, like a fucking real monster. It's a crazy transformation. When it first started, bro, I was like, this cat becomes Kanan. Yeah.
He blamed my man in the hallway. That's all I needed to know.
and the kid that plays him does a great like 50 impression. It's funny as fuck.
Yeah, he's funny.
It's dope.
How he connecting the dots and how he pushing the weight, the product. He had his way of doing it. It was just Yo, he was just the smartest one out of everybody, even out of his uncles and stuff. They couldn't understand it. Like this dude, you ain't ready. Boom, boom, boom. And then Omar Epps, one of my favorite actors, yo, he played a great, part to it. It's like, yo, it's really dope, man.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the homie too, and he can rhyme.
Word.
Yeah, he got bars all
Yeah,
day.
yeah. And yeah, he say the spinoff, the Tommy and Ghost prequel spinoff makes up for the book 2 and book 4's cancellations. And I agree with that too, because I'm like like they said already in this article, the book 2 and book 4 seasons, like dragging them out any longer will be a drag. Like it's like the stories, it's been told, like we get the point, like it's time to move on. And honestly, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Ever since the very first show, Power, I wanted to see them when they were younger. I wanted to see that story. So when the Kanan story came out, I was mad excited, because I was like, oh, we finally going to get to see, the young Tommy and Ghost, because they talk about their youth so much in the show, in the original show. It's like you want to see it. It's kind of like when we watch Star Wars and we see all this shit in the original trilogy. We hear all about all this shit in the original trilogy and we want to see it. And then George Lucas gives us the prequels and we get to see all the shit they were talking about in the movies. And it's like that kind of satisfaction right there, man. And I think it's the perfect timing. But canceling 2 of the 3 ongoing Power spinoffs could really hurt the franchise, but their replacement couldn't have been any better. Tommy and Ghost spinoff will be titled Power Book 5 Origins, and it will highlight the duo's story before the beginning of Power Season 1. The franchise was already supposed to have 4 spinoffs, as Power Book 5 Influence was canceled. So it was going to be called Power Book 5 Influence, which is a lame ass fucking name. I'm glad Power Book 5 Origins is dope. Likely because Rashad Tate's story was included in Ghost and didn't need its own series. Yeah, we don't need a Rashad Tate fucking show. Come on, B. Shout out to Lorenz Tate. Therefore, focusing on Ghost and Tommy's lives before they made it big sounds like a very promising alternative. Yes, it seems unlikely that Hardwick and Sakura can reprise their roles as portraying younger versions of their characters. Of course not. Like, no. I don't want to see these guys playing themselves as kids. No. That would be stupid. But having them maybe do some voiceovers would be cool. If they do any narration, they would, having them maybe talking about the past or something, hearing their voices could be cool. Having them cameo in some sort of way, but definitely not playing their younger selves. Yeah, they got to be 10 years after they debuted. Would be tough. This will give the new actors some tough acts to follow, as Hardwick and Sakura did a great job of giving their characters depth and connecting with the audience. Listen, man, I'm going to keep it a buck. These guys are great, but they're not De Niro and Pacino.
Yeah, I mean, with Power, I mean, it was intriguing, and at the same time, I mean, it was a great opportunity for them to come in and do different things with these characters. Everybody felt, I really truly believe that the Sequoia guy, that was supposed to be Eminem's part. He was supposed to be in this show, but
really?
Too much. Yes, because look at him. I mean, 50 and M, they're like,
right. That's true. That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So
damn, I bet he was gonna have him do the show at one point.
But it cost too much to get an Eminem to do the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, your whole budget would be Eminem's.
Right. So they get these lesser known guys. The
Sequoia guy, he's a great actor. He's been in countless shit before this.
Yeah, no, he's been in a lot of shit. Yeah.
So, but the favorite
still bit parts though. He never had no big roles.
No, but this one of the big roles. Unfortunately, he looked similar to Marshall. So,
and Hardwick's been in some shit too. I've seen him. What was he in? He was dope in one thing. What was he in that?
And he been in a couple other things.
Some movie with some UPS.
Oh yeah. With Most Def. Most Def was in it.
Right. Yeah, that shit was hard.
Yeah. It was funny. He was like,
that was hilarious.
Drugs?
Word.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. Let me see. Where were we? Body did a great job. However, having fresh actors bring the franchise to its roots by focusing on the main duo will make up for the recent cancellations. This bold strategy from stars makes my expectations higher for Origins, but I have high hopes that they can pull it off. I mean, I would think it would have been something they planned all along, but they're acting like this is some new fucking idea. And now that I see that they were going to do Power Book 5 Influence, a fucking Rashad Tate story, Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad
the creative stuff around because there were so many powerful characters in Power. Like you can go in any direction, even with the detective.
Exactly.
You could have went anywhere you wanted to. You can even do a story where Ghost met with with his wife and had the kids, but you can take it anywhere. It's a whole universe. So I guess they figure they get the story that everybody wants. How did Tommy meet Ghost?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what it's going to be. So how they met, under what circumstances, and then with Kanan, how did Kanan bring them both together? Because remember, they betrayed Kanan. They betrayed him because he was too hardcore.
I'm thinking that when they meet Kanan, this is Kanan, y'all, right here on the left. That's young 50 Cent right there.
Yeah.
50 Cent plays a character named Kanan in the original show called Power. He's kind of like the antagonist. He's kind of the bad guy in the show, really. But he's also the mentor of the main two characters. And they're all drug dealers, but he's like the guy that kind of taught them the game. And what I'm thinking is we see this show right here, Raising Kanan, and we see his rise to becoming Kanan. And by the time he becomes Kanan and becomes the Kingpin, that's when he's gonna meet these two young dudes that got potential, and they young hustlers, and he gonna put them on and show them the game and take them under his wing. And that's how I think it's gonna go down. Naturally, there have been many. What was you gonna say?
I said that's the only way it goes up because they even said it in Power how they with Kanan and stuff like that. When he got out of jail, he's like, "Yeah, I'm back." You know what I mean? And they're like, "Yo, you remember that motherfucker was crazy." You know what I mean? We can't have him doing all this. He need to chill out. Let us run this because how he can get, and then you see what happened.
Yep,
it went crazy.
Yep. Considering Power Book 3 Raising Kanan is renewed for season 4 and 5, having the only two ongoing Power shows being sequels may sound bad on paper. However, Raising Kanan has found plenty of success. It's another origin. So you've got Raising Kanan and Power Origins that are going to be these the two shows, and they're both prequels. Raising Kanan, what was the last season they just did? Wasn't that 4? Or that was 3?
So no, that's 3. I think it's 3.
Man, 3 we just saw. That's so okay. So there's gonna be 4 and 5, and Ghost and Force aren't getting a 5.
No.
Ghost got a 4.
Ghost. Yeah, I think this was the 4th season, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. I feel like it.
Either or something. Well, we know. So
it's definitely not the 5th. Yeah, it's either the 3rd or the 4th. I think it's the 4th. But yeah, the if Power is going to continue for the foreseeable future, a new show continuing the timeline may be essential. But Power Book 5 Origins is the sort of show I've been waiting years for, and it's exactly what Power needs right now to continue being one of Star's flagship franchises. Yeah, it's definitely the next step. I don't think there's really anywhere to go after that. I think that's got to be the end of it, but I'm cool with that because we've already seen the death of Ghost, and I think if Tommy dies at the end of Force in some way, that'll be the end of Tommy. Now we get to see their beginnings.
Yeah, and that may happen. They may happen. You know.
Tommy's got to die, bro. He's too fucking. He's too cruel. He's too ruthless.
Yeah. Because if you don't, that's the only thing that'll stop him is death.
Only thing.
The only thing. Yep.
Only
yeah,
thing,
man.
and that's
Yeah. But yeah, I gotta head out, bro.
Yeah, dog. We're gonna wrap it up, man. But yeah, y'all check us out next Saturday. We'll be back every Saturday, every Wednesday and Saturday at 7 p.m. We always chop it up like this. So if you're new to the show, man, please hit that like button. Please subscribe, get the notification bell going so that you know when our shows come out. But generally, usually about 7 p.m. every Wednesday and Saturday. So we'll see you guys next Wednesday. Be safe, y'all, and yeah. Hang on, y'all. Hang on, y'all. I ain't ending the stream yet. We still live, bro. I want to say something before we go. Cause my man just popped in, man. Shout out to End of Zed. Don't forget y'all to go over to the endofzed.com, man, and check out this new comic. It's phenomenal. It's hip hop and comics in one. And it's about this robot named Zed who crash lands on Earth in the Bronx in the 80s around the birth of hip hop. And I cannot fucking wait to get into it. The art is phenomenal, and we're going to sit down and talk to the creator of End of Zed on October 23rd, the day that the Kickstarter goes online. So don't forget to check that out, y'all. But other than that, y'all, peace, everybody, and we'll see you guys. Yeah. Peace.